Georgians are often seen as extremely open and upfront about their culture. However, what they're hiding is exactly what you need to know to succeed in business here in Georgia. Of course, if you listen to the end of the video, I will give you exactly how Georgians are hiding exactly what you need to succeed in business. Hello and welcome back to Traveling Reports. Today I wanted to go over what Georgians from the Republic of Georgia inevitably are hiding and how that hidden message is realistically something that you should be looking out for. Oftentimes, when Georgians are confronted about their culture, they bring very surface level responses. Things like their wine, things like dances, and expressions of their culture. However, when you get down to the bottom of it, you cannot fully understand their culture because they only give you the curated message that they want for you to have. And of course, when I am speaking to a Georgian, realistically I'm doing it in Georgian. And so I get more of their culture that they don't want to share. And I was talking with a Georgian the other day, and she was shocked that I knew Georgian because the language isn't well known. It's a difficult language, realistically speaking. So to think that I would learn it in the first place is already shocking to Georgians. However, then I was speaking with her, and I could notice her getting a little bit uneasy with the fact that I did understand her culture on a deep level, on a familial level, especially. As in Georgia, family is the cornerstone of just about every decision, every business decision, every piece of how they operate within their life. And as time goes on, the culture has shifted slightly. So as I converse more frequently with Georgians about their culture, and especially recently, it has shifted only ever so slightly when living here, because realistically, there's only one area within Georgia that is super different to the rest. And that area is Vake, Saburtalo, and Vera, and additionally Old Tbilisi. Realistically, if you go to Avlabari in Tbilisi, if you go to Istani in Tbilisi, it's a very conservative place. And what they don't want you to know is what that conservatism means. Because what does that entail that you can do? That means you can read them. And they don't want you to read them. Because in Georgian culture, one of the ways that they get out of problems, and one of the ways that they truly learn to shift their problems onto others, is in the way of confusing others to delay their problems, which realistically I find to be annoying to some extent. However, if you can call that out, all of a sudden they can't do it anymore. And especially if you call it out in their native language. And so I was talking with said friends, and really I felt more connected with her speaking in Georgian than in English. Of course, we spoke both in Georgian and English because I speak English as a native language. It's just simpler to communicate at some point in English because they learn from 5 years old, and I only learned Georgian from 18. Sorry, not 18. I think 16. Anyway, fairly young, but not young enough to where, I feel 100% comfortable in speaking all the time. That was just me saying, of course I speak Georgian, but I don't know. Anyway, when I learn about the cultures and about how they interact, it's important for me, especially in the settings of international business, because if I am drinking with someone or I am sitting down with someone and speaking with them, it's extremely, extremely important for them to understand me and for me to understand them. And to do that, of course, they could learn, American culture. Many people around the world know American culture or their interpretation of American culture. However, what you get is a lot of misunderstandings as a result of that. So instead, what I opt to do is, if I'm in a country, I'm going to learn the culture. I'm going to learn how they do business. I'm going to learn what they operate as and how they operate. And when I connect those pieces, that is truly when you become able to truly do business in these countries and truly operates on a level above what a quote-unquote normal expat would, or an immigrant, because you have essentially crossed the barrier from immigrants to integrators. And of course, in Georgia, as the example I used within this context, you won't ever be considered Georgian, because Georgian is an ethnicity as much as it is a citizenship. So it's not like America, where you can go and you can say, oh, I got the passport, so I'm American. In Georgia, it doesn't work like that. And as I grow through these countries and live in these countries, I start to understand this a lot more. And so, of course, if you are looking for any of these sorts of plans in terms of how to culturally integrate, or if you want me to do the hard legwork for you, feel free to reach out in the description down below. There's a Calendly link for you for 15 minutes, one-on-one, absolutely free. If you are looking to join me on this journey of internationalization and globalization, feel free to subscribe. If you like the video, feel free to like it. If you really like this video, feel free to share it with your friends. This has been the Traveling Report, signing off.